On January 15, 2009, a routine flight took off from New York City. It was just another normal day, and passengers had no idea they were about to experience something unforgettable. The aircraft, an Airbus A320, carried 155 people on board. Everything was going smoothly as the plane climbed into the sky. Inside the cabin, passengers were relaxed. Some looking out the window, others chatting or checking their phones. At the controls was Captain Chesley Sullenberger, a highly experienced pilot with decades of flying behind him. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary, but just minutes after takeoff, at around 3,000 feet, everything changed. A large flock of birds suddenly appeared directly in the aircraft's path. Within seconds, both engines were struck. The impact was immediate, and the engines began to lose power. Inside the cockpit, the situation became critical. The sound of the engines changed, and the aircraft started losing thrust. The pilots quickly realized something serious had happened. Both engines had failed. In aviation, this is one of the most dangerous situations possible. Without engine power, the aircraft becomes a glider, and at such a low altitude, time is extremely limited. Air traffic control suggested returning to the airport. But Captain Sullenberger knew they wouldn't make it back in time. There simply wasn't enough altitude. He had to make a decision, and fast. Looking ahead, there was no runway, no clear landing strip, no safe airport within reach. But there was one option: the Hudson River. It was a risky choice, one that left no room for error. A single mistake could lead to disaster. But it was the only chance to save everyone on board. Inside the cabin, passengers were told to brace for impact. The atmosphere changed instantly. Fear and confusion spread, but the crew worked quickly to prepare everyone. Meanwhile, in the cockpit, every second mattered. The pilots carefully controlled the speed, angle, and descent of the aircraft. As the plane approached the river, the city skyline stood in the background. Everything depended on precision. And then, in a moment that felt like forever, the aircraft touched the water. The landing was incredibly smooth. There was no explosion, no breakup, just a powerful splash as the plane settled onto the river's surface. Against all odds, the aircraft remained intact. Passengers quickly evacuated and moved onto the wings. The freezing water surrounded them, but help was already on the way. Within minutes, nearby boats and rescue teams arrived. People were safely assisted and brought to shore. Every single person on board survived. What could have been a tragic disaster became one of the most remarkable survival stories in aviation history. It wasn't luck, it was skill, experience, and calm decision-making under extreme pressure. Captain Sullenberger's actions saved 155 lives that day, and the world would remember this incredible moment as the miracle on the Hudson.